You can choose to scale objects by moving the pivot point to further refine how you're going to scale that object. Now, what I want to do is show you two different ways that you can move pivot points. One which is temporary and one which is permanent. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on the head of this cowboy here how we can use the temporary pivot point selection. For example, I can grab the select tool, and this is the pivot point. I can go ahead and move this anywhere I want to. And then, grabbing any of these handles on the side, I can choose to scale my object and base where it's going to scale from based on the position of the pivot point. And I can put that over here, and once again, scale it. And let me, of course, grab the right area here. Let me move that up. And it's going to scale from that top corner there. If I want to scale the object and I want to actually move the pivot point so it stays put for a while, I can grab the scale tool here, and then the pivot point's down here. And I can go ahead and put this where I want the object to scale from, like so. And now when I scale, the object is going to scale from that region. But the difference is if I deselect and I go back to the scale tool, you see the pivot point is where I put it. Let's see what happens when I go to the select tool here and click on it. See, the pivot point is back in the center. So whenever you move the pivot point with the select tool, it's going to always snap back once you deselect the object. So I'll go ahead and move it. I'll deselect, click on this object again, or the element, and it's right back in the center. But this guy here is going to stay wherever you put it. And this is really the tool that you want to use when you want to animate your objects based on scale or position or whatever you want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to grab my properties here and show you another way to scale. So I'm going to go to my window menu and grab properties. Likewise, what I can do to scale something is I can go ahead and scale right from within this dialog box here. So I can go ahead and type a 2, for example, and I've scaled it on the north and south axis. Likewise, I could choose to keep proportions. So when I do that, whatever number I enter here is automatically entered for me here. So I'll go ahead and put a 1. And now it scales down to 1, but it stays in proportion. So once again, you can either manually move it yourself or use these text fields to enter a value.